As a Saudi living in America, this film was very personal to me. It was something I wanted to say, and I felt that it had to be said. I grew up in Saudi Arabia. I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia, and I came to the U.S. About 2 months before 9/11. So I was fresh off the boat, got to the U.S., and boom, 9/11 happened, and the Saudis are to be blamed for it. So after 9/11, when people would approach me and saying things like that, or you Saudis are terrorists, you Saudis are that, I didn't take it too personal. I understand the idea of, how an American would see it, American who doesn't know much, seeing the news, seeing that it was, 15 hijackers from Saudi Arabia, Osama bin Laden, why they take that negatively. So I took it, in a lighthearted way, and I just explained things to them. I told them my view, which you see a lot in the film, and what us Saudis believe about that, and us Saudis' mentality about that thing. When I started hearing other people's stories that they did get harassed, Saudis who got harassed from the FBI, or Saudis who had problems, I realized, okay, it's not a joke anymore that Saudis are perceived that way. It's been a few years after 9/11, and it's not getting better. So I said, I want to show the American people my Saudis, my family, my friends, the people who I grew up with, the silent majority of Saudi Arabia. The film gives you a perspective of Saudis that many have not seen or known about, which they are there, they are here in the American culture, they go to school with you, and they don't wear their turbans and call on jihad and everybody. There are still religious extremists in Saudi Arabia. Some of the people I know who are conservatives who would think, everybody is wrong. If you're not a Muslim, you're wrong. But again, these are not terrorists. These are something that are right here in the U.S. I've bumped into people, full Americans who would say the same thing. If you don't believe in Christ, you're going to go to hell. Or if you're not this type, you're going to go there. Or if you're not, same idea, and you're wrong because of the way you believe in. It doesn't mean right away these people are evil or they're terrorists. It just means that's their religious background. Growing up in Saudi Arabia, we loved Americans. Anything comes from America was great. Anything comes from Hollywood was the best. If you're just an American, you're already smarter than everybody else. And this is something you don't see in the news talking about it. In Saudi Arabia, an American citizen working in Saudi Arabia automatically takes triple the salary of a Saudi person, even if he does the same job or less. The way Saudis are perceived, like I said, in this certain image. And a lot of it is not just the U.S. to blame, it's not Hollywood only. We inflicted that image on ourselves. Us as Saudis, we knew that we have the two cities, the most noble cities in Islam, which are Mecca and Medina. So we wanted to create this image in the past as being a Muslim country, a religious country of religious people. So from there we promoted that the Americans took and promoted to another way. We did not focus in the past on just promoting us as who we are. So it's not fully the U.S.'s blame or Hollywood's blame. It's part of it is us. So that's why I want to do this film now as my part as a Saudi citizen, to show the other Saudi. Just like in America, there are diverse people. I could take a camera and go into one part of the U.S. and make a 100% truthful film that will make the Americans look really bad, or make Americans look really poor, or make them really rich people. It's just one angle that I'm choosing and representing the entire country. And that's what's been happening with Saudi Arabia. One angle is being shown only. Every time there's in the news something about Saudi Arabia, and they show stock footage of Riyadh or Saudi Arabia, it's things that I've never seen in my life. I lived all my life in Saudi Arabia. I look at that stock footage there when they're talking about Riyadh, and I was like, okay, where is that? Where in Riyadh is that shot? I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it's there. They won't lie to you that badly and just fake a shot, but it's not the common shot. It's not what the everyday Saudi would see. As a Saudi living in America, these were always the first things I had to deal with. I bumped into someone from Saudi Arabia. I bumped someone in America, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from? Saudi Arabia." "Oh my God, really? Saudi Arabia?" It's like they're all excited. It's an alien they're talking to. Is it true this? Is it true that? And they have all these stereotypes that are not true. A lot of them. Some of them are true. So I just try to explain it to them or tell them why it's that way or not. Other things are just like completely random thoughts that I have to kind of just explain all over again to them. And I realized that was effective, just being there, being a student in a class where there's 100 people there and communicating with these few individuals, that I'm doing already my job as a Saudi. I'm changing the stereotypes. So I decided that would be the best way to approach this film, is just show me, my family, friends, and have the people see, here, these are the Saudis, tell me what you think now.